It was an intense experience. They choppered him in. The area was cleared except a few key personnel remained, and there wasn't much notice. And the chopper landed. About 6 armed guards exited, aside an elderly man in a wheelchair who was blindfolded and restrained and unshaven, unkempt, disheveled. And they wheeled him to me, and as soon as the wheelchair was in front of me, they untied his blindfold, they untied his restraints, and he stood up. And the air was tense. He looked at my weapon, and he muttered something in Arabic, and we were prepared. I had medicines nearby to sedate him in case he became combative. We didn't need that, and proceeded with the exam. Whenever someone's a prisoner of war, you still have to give them the highest level of medical care. You have to divorce yourself from emotion, and that's a lesson that we can all learn in our lives in many ways. When you read about these diseases in medical school, and then you go to your clinical rotations for the first time, it's different. But then when you go to the military, it's a whole different level. Baghdad fell. My deployment was with the 1st Cav. I was attached to the hospital in the civilian sector. I worked at Darnell Army Medical Center at Fort Hood, Texas, and then was attached to the 1st Cav out of Fort Hood and went with the 1st Cav. And throughout that deployment, it ended up being a 15-month deployment with the 1st Cav. There were thousands and thousands of people marching on the roads, and in that crowd were 12 men, and these 12 men were strapped with bombs. And all of a sudden, boom, the bombs explode. These suicidal bombers injured a lot of people in the process, and all of a sudden there's dozens to hundreds of bodies just lying on the ground. The question is, who do you go to first? Who will you be unable to help? And these are tough decisions, because if you go to the loudest screamer, that's not necessarily the person who needs to help. So you have to make these decisions about prioritizing or triaging, which is the essence of military medicine. And recognizing that the number one cause of death will be hemorrhage or bleeding out. So let's move that care forward and provide that care immediately to prevent that bleeding out so patients don't die on the way to the combat support hospital. Now we have a new set of challenges. They have their physical abrasions, they survive these, and they come back and they have mental abrasions, traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress. The date of this recording, it's about 22 veterans a day. One almost every hour committing suicide. So they survive the battlefield, they come back and commit suicide. So that's our problem today that we have to deal with, and we will.